Look at Patterson's. Mining magnate, mansion by the harbor, rolling in wealth. He enters a competition in 25 words why he likes a particular shaving cream. 1 month later, he wins a new car from the company. That's unfair. Would it have been possible if there was only one goal? Pretty sure there are actually two goals. One is rich man's God, other is poor man's. I think the poor man's God is himself poor.
Is there any particular reason for such thoughts?
No logical reason as such.
Do you believe that a rich man's God provides a better service?
Of course he does.
I don't have much idea about God.
Well, I'm no expert on God either.
Too much knowledge ruins our faith.
That's right. Too much knowledge is dangerous. For example, you are having a happy married life and suddenly you discover your wife is having an affair. Wouldn't that mess up your married life?
It sure would. Are you married?
No, never married. Economy didn't permit.
Economy is always topsy-turvy. But that doesn't stop people from marrying and having babies.
That's irresponsible. I'm fine. No great ambition. Spouse will discover our weaknesses.
True. Marriage has its side effects.
Weak-hearted people like me should never get married. Physical needs can be made otherwise. Marriage is too risky.
Most people in the world are weak-hearted. Almost 90% of the population.
Maybe. I only care about myself.
Don't you care about anything else in the world?
Look, I worked out the world is spinning by itself. I am only attached to it by gravity. My only interest is 9 to 5 at work and the weekend.
And how's your work?
My employer deals in building materials. Bricks, mortar, sand, cement, iron rod, you name it. Every day, dozens of trucks are carrying this to all parts of the country.
And what's your role?
To keep up with everything.
Just to keep up.
That's a tough job. To look after half a dozen warehouses and to explain 100 things to people every day.
Are you the manager?
That's the title. No status. I just carry out my orders.
Don't you try and attract your employer's attention?
They don't have time for people like me. No, they only care about how much stuff is leaving the door and how much money is coming in.
Do you resent your work?
Not really. I'm happy with my wage fortnight.
So you've sold out?
Aren't we all trying to make ourselves more sellable?
True.
It's just that Tom Cruise sells for 50 million. I sell for 50,000.
Is that why sometimes your killer instinct wants to come out?
Not at all. People like me can at best kill ourselves. I had a bit of suicidal tendency in the past. But even that has now died down. Oh, by the way, I haven't asked your name.
Patrick Buck. Just call me Pat.
Glad to meet you, Pat.
I know your name. John De Silva.
How do you know my name?
Your employer, James Morris, calls you John.
You also know my employer.
Do you remember someone called Ricky Morales? Also known as Ricky the Razor?
Ricky? He was a notorious criminal.
Yes. A hired gun. A terror in town. Morris used to pay him protection. No harm in that. Businesses have to budget for it. Trouble started when Ricky began demanding more and more money from Morris. He threatened to kill Morris if his demands were not met. As a shrewd businessman, Morris knew if he gave in to Ricky's demands, it would just keep growing. He was thinking of winding down his business. Do you remember this story?
Yeah, absolutely. Must have been almost 20 years ago. All of a sudden, one day, Ricky went missing.
Yes. His family searched for him everywhere. But not a trace. Not even his body.
Some say Ricky had a change of heart and left and became a monk.
I'm a bit more practical. Police investigations show that Ricky was last seen entering one of Morris's warehouses. And he has not been seen alive again.
As far as I know, police didn't find any clue why he went missing.
To date, the police haven't been able to decide whether it's a case of a missing person or a murder. Ricky murdered 22 people, and he would have killed 22 more if he was still around. So, the police are not too worried about him going missing.
Why are you interested in him? Are you a policeman?
No. I'm a novelist. I'm fascinated by unsolved crime. Early one morning, I went into that warehouse. I looked everywhere. In the northwest corner, there's a shallow ditch. It's covered with weeds, hardly visible.
Yes, our spare cement bags are sometimes dumped there.
It was monsoon time. The frequent rain would have hardened the cement. I wouldn't be surprised if Ricky's bones can still be found hidden in those cement blocks. Not sure. Just guessing.
That's a big call. I mean, if Ricky was killed, his killer would have been a criminal of his stature.
Killing a person is not that hard. If the killer has a deadly weapon, the victim is unprepared, and there's a strong motivation. What do you say?
You are the one fascinated by crime. You seem to know a lot about Ricky.
My interest lies somewhere else. And that's you.
What could be of interest in my boring life?
You're of such interest to me that I've done my homework on you. Never met you before, but I have studied you from a distance. You seem to me to be a meek and quiet person.
That's exactly what I've been trying to tell about myself. Do you think I've been making up my story?
No, you've described yourself exactly as you are. You're an unambitious man, lacking self-confidence. But you've got one special quality. You're very loyal. Morris is like a god to you. You believe your existence depends on Morris.
Morris provides my living. That's a good enough reason to be counted as one of my gods.
And you've got that glint in your eyes.
What's that?
Not quite sure. It's like an inner flash. Tell me, do you think someone could have been killed with a steel rod?
Why are you pushing me into this? I still remember the worker in our factory got killed when his left eye got impaled into iron rod. Brings back a horrible memory.
Was Ricky killed the same way? Impaled into a steel rod?
How would I know?
And his body? Taken in the barrow to the ditch, dumped, covered with cement and then sprinkled with water?
You're talking too dangerous. I'm scared.
Normally, Ricky is a tiger and you're a mouse. But when survival is at stake, when the loyal senses danger to his master, under those circumstances, the roles can reverse.
All I'm saying, you are suspecting the wrong person. I am not that person.
I know. You standing in front of me, you're not a killer. But someone else came out of you that night. I don't know him. And neither do you.
I have nothing to do with him.
I agree. But the killer woke up that night and will wake up again if necessary. I came here to tell you. You are vulnerable. That other dangerous Jono will not spare you.
Are you leaving?
Yes.
Please don't go.
Why?
I'm scared to be alone. Please walk me home.
The police can't catch you. You'll never be arrested for this crime. Who are you afraid of?
Please don't leave me with that killer.